Hello, I'm Dave from Fly-Carpin. Today I'm going to show you how to tighten down the improved clinch knot in such a way as to not burn fluorocarbon. If you've tried fluorocarbon with the improved clinch knot and you've had major problems with the quality of your knots, I think I probably know why, and I think it can probably help. So I'm not really going to get into the details of how we tie an improved clinch knot. I'm assuming you already know how. If you don't, you can find a better resource than me on the internet on how to do it. Some animations or something. But the problem with how most people tighten the improved clinch knot starts right now. They've got the knot set, and what a lot of people do to tighten this knot is at this point, they take both ends and then just pull rapidly to tighten that knot down. There's two things that happen there. First thing is, in fluorocarbon at least, and this isn't as big of an issue in mono, as you're tightening that down so fast, you're concentrating a lot of heat in the standing portion of your line, and you really burn it. And fluorocarbon does not like heat. It weakens it significantly. The second thing is, you think the knot's cinched down tight when you do it that way, but in reality it isn't always. For example, in this scenario, the knot didn't cinch down correctly at all. There's a little gap between some of the bends that if I pull even harder, oh, there it went. The knot just popped. Okay? When that knot pops, it creates a lot of heat inside the knot. It's even going to further weaken the fluorocarbon. And even in mono, at that point, when it pops, it's going to break. So, what can we do differently? Well, we can do a little bit different of a sequence on how we tighten it down. It's much gentler, slower, more controlled, and is going to give you a better knot in the end. Now, go ahead and reset this. I'm using really thick, used fly line here, a really huge hook. This is just to show you what we're doing. Obviously, you're going to be using, something between 0 and 3x for carp with usually a size 6 or 8 hook, typically. Now, the knot's ready to tighten. I've got it kind of set. What I'm going to do a little bit differently is I'm going to tighten on all 3 ends at the same time. And as I do that, I'm going to use my thumb and my pointer finger as an aid to push down the knot and help it tighten. And what that's going to let me do is put much less pressure on all 3 ends and go much slower. And that way I'm not going to concentrate heat. It's going to take longer. The heat can dissipate, and I have less friction and less heat built up as it is. Okay? So, wet the line. We always wet the line. And equal pressure. I've got the line kind of wrapped around my other fingers so that I can use that to push with, right? And go ahead and tighten that thing down nice and slow as you're pulling on all 3 ends. Nice and slow. Right, we're getting close to the end here. And because of how we tighten this down, you're going to get a perfectly cinched knot every time. Okay? All those coils are going to be right next to each other. And there's not going to be any way that I can pull on this knot and get it to pop like I did before. Alright? That is about the best that you can get an improved clinch knot. Now, like I said, it's not the best knot in the world. Non-slip mono loop is a much stronger knot. But I do use this knot in a couple of scenarios. For one, I've been using it lately on the top side of a tippet ring, where I'm tying it onto a tapered leader that's maybe probably in the -1x range. It's been flipped back to really thick. I don't care that the improved clinch isn't the strongest knot in the history of mankind, because it's still going to be stronger than anything on the downside of the tippet ring. Another place where I might use it is if I'm either in a super hurry or I absolutely need a knot that is rigidly attached to the hook instead versus a loop knot, such that as it drops through the water column, it doesn't let the fly kind of dive bomb. And the fly tends to drop slower with an improved clinch knot than with a non-slip mono loop knot. And there are some scenarios in fly fishing for carp where you want to slow down how quickly your flies drop into the water. And that's about it. Those are my only 2 excuses. But you might want to use it all the time. If you do, just try the way I'm tightening it down. I think you'll find that you have a much, much stronger connection. And hopefully that helps you catch some carp. Thanks.